The Dai, mashallah, has been at it for more than 20 years and is from Malawi, and just phenomenal. That is the essence of success if you want to do anything worthwhile.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome back to Dawah Legacies with your host Abdullah Panjwani and one of our most special guests today, who has silver in his hair, gold in his heart and platinum on his mind. Respected listeners and viewers, we introduce you to Saeed Motiwala. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. MashaAllah, that I've never had an introduction like that before. MashaAllah.
There's a reason why that introduction was put in that way, and that reason we'll slowly delve into it and unravel it. And one of the ways we'll do that is 1997, Gemological Institute of America. Talk us through that.
MashaAllah. So this is your research, because we haven't discussed this. Alhamdulillah, I come from a family of jewelers, and our jewelry firm is about 65, 68 years old in Karachi, Pakistan. And I did my studies, and then I didn't want to go into the family business. So I did a lot of other things. I worked with some architects. I had a garment factory. I tried to look at some trading options, things like that. And after doing all of those things, I finally decided that maybe jewelry is what I should be doing. So I went to GIA in 97 to study gemology and jewelry design. And then I went to San Francisco to the Revere Academy for jewelry manufacturing. And so yeah, I got a little bit of that exposure as well.
Subhanallah. Sounds very inspiring. You must have gone through so many experiences. You must have seen so much of the world, mashallah.
Alhamdulillah, Allah Ta'ala works in mysterious ways. I have been blessed to travel and see things. And those blessings came because of an adversity. It's because I was an asthmatic since childhood, and in Pakistan, asthma treatments were not working with me. So the doctors suggested that maybe I should get a change of scenery, change of weather. Maybe that might work. And so since my closest family was in Canada, my mother's side of the family, so they shipped me off over there, and it worked. I mean, my health got better over there, and it was good. So I was there. I studied in Canada from class 9 all the way to university. And so I spent a fair amount of time in Canada. During that time, I took some time off from university. I traveled. In those days, I did some backpacking around Europe and that kind of stuff. Then I went back to university. Then I took another 2 years off. Then I worked with my dad in Karachi, came back to Canada, and I finished off my university. And then I came back to Pakistan, alhamdulillah.
Mashallah.
So yeah, it's one of those things where you just go round and round, and you learn something along the way, inshallah.
Sounds like a roller coaster of life so far.
Alhamdulillah, I've been blessed.
And may Allah make it as beneficial and productive as possible for the later years also.
Inshallah, Ameen. May Allah Ta'ala accept and make us end on a good note.
Definitely, inshallah. Now that was just a summary of your brief life. I mean, you're still young, right? When I said silver in your hair, I hope you didn't take offense in any way.
No, alhamdulillah.
The main point was to set up the jewelers part.
Sure.
But nonetheless, going back to the childhood or the younger years, many people may know you as like Saeed Motiwala, who is the trustee of this, the founder of that, the person that's involved in so many different Islamic organizations. But talk us through the youngster, Saeed Motiwala. What were his interests, his hobbies, and have any of those transitioned and carried on to date?
As I said earlier on, that my asthma was a defining thing for me, that because of that, I really could not take part in any sports and things like that in Pakistan. So I spent a lot of time reading, and I enjoyed comic books, but I also enjoyed books. So it was all about imagination. It was just living in another world when I was reading. So that was instrumental in shaping my future academic career also, and also in my other passions as well. Then after that, I think when I moved to Canada and my health got better, then I started, exercise, and then I ended up with doing different things. I was on the wrestling team, and then so various sports activities and things like that. I really enjoyed that. Um, so that those are the kind of things I enjoyed. Sports later on, and then earlier on was reading and things like that. Alhamdulillah, I always did well in school, um, but I tended to be a bit of a introvert, not very open and easy with people. And then Alhamdulillah, along the way, I started to realize that you don't have to impress anyone. You have to just do things for yourself. Just as long as you're true to yourself, then everything else will work out. Alhamdulillah. So that was it. I think that eventually I found some good company, and that good company introduced me to some role models uh, who were doing some good social work. Got involved with those guys, learned a lot from them. My friends along the way wanted to do some good things. I got involved with them. They were doing good things. So alhamdulillah, along the way, good people that I met were the ones that influenced me all the way along. And we worked as teams, we worked together, and alhamdulillah, we were able to do some things.
MashaAllah, it really seems like you're the encapsulation of the quote that when you're going through the garden of life, never forget to stop and smell the roses.
Subhanallah. That encapsulates, really, subhanallah, so well put. Because I really do believe that what is the point of having time management if you don't utilize that saved time to stop and smell the roses? So yeah.
Subhanallah. So moving on now to the Dawah scene. I mean, firstly, you've mentioned a lot about education, and it seems like you, however much you feel that you may have been introverted and all, it seems like you do have quite a strong passion for the education scene. And now, alhamdulillah, I'm sure over the past, how many years has it been since being in the Dawah scene? Was it since education days, university days, or?
No, not at all. I was the furthest away from the Dawa scene and the Islamic scene when I was in university, unfortunately. And alhamdulillah, along the way, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guided me and towards betterment, alhamdulillah. And when I started that, obviously I met people along the way who helped me. And that's how I got involved in all of these scenes.
MashaAllah. And have you noticed any similarities between the education and Dawah scene, or do you feel that they should be separate?
No, I think that, I think education encompasses life. It encompasses everything to do with life. So I think that what we have done, unfortunately, is that we have put education into little silos. You study geography, you study history, you study mathematics, and they're all in little silos. But life is not in silos. Life is all combined. So education needs to snap out of that and make it more holistic, make it all encompassing. And Dawa already is that. Dawa is about a choice in living your life for the best in this world and the hereafter. So I think there's a huge correlation. I think in the education sector, I believe we may have deviated a little bit, but alhamdulillah, Dawah teaches us that that really it's all about loving your fellow man. It's about trying to help people. It's trying to help people get the best in this world and the hereafter. So it's about giving. And education should also be about that. It should be about how to become a good human being, how to become a useful human being in society.
Right.
So I think that's what that should be the main focus of education.
Very wisely put, mashallah. Now, alhamdulillah, you've come here to Malawi, and one of the main focuses, if not one of the main, if not the main purpose, has been to see the Dawah scene, witness the Dawah scene over here in Malawi. So, before moving on to the Dawah scene itself, how has your experience and your travel so far throughout the warm heart of Africa been?
Oh, subhanallah. It has been an amazing trip. I must say, this may be the best trip I've had in my life. Because this is the first trip where there has been this element of dawah and leisure. Mostly, you do things, if you're doing attending an Islamic conference, or if you're attending an education conference, you tend to, it's all focused on that. But alhamdulillah, coming here working with Aira, you guys have really taken care of us. I mean, I think I'm going to put on some weight by the time I've gone home and say, you're coming back from Africa? You sure about that? Did you go somewhere else? So, I mean, alhamdulillah, you have fed us, you have entertained us, you have exposed us to so much activity, dawah activity, inspirational activity. And what I love is how it's done, integrated with so many different groups of people. That to me is the most inspirational thing about this trip. It's the variety of people, the variety of organizations working together for Dawah.
That answers so many questions just within that one answer that you gave that I had. But nonetheless, let's move on to a different question or related to that question. Throughout the past 4 to 5 days that you've been here, you've seen a lot, you've witnessed a lot, you've experienced a lot. What has been the most memorable moment, one that might have really shaken you and made you feel that, wow, I did not expect this, or that made you, touched your heart?
I think that there were two especially memorable ones. All of them were memorable. I think the first one was we went and visited a masjid. The imam was from Malawi. In fact, he was from the village where we went. And he went to South Africa, went to Darul Uloom over there, alhamdulillah, studied, and then he came back to the village. And now he's the imam of the masjid over there. They've got a madrasa over there. There's a small village that they built up with the houses and all the various infrastructure that is required for a village. So now different organizations came together to build that village. And the imam, he was teaching with the boys, and girls were also studying over there. And separately, of course, that whole picture of that little ecosystem I found it very, very inspirational. And another thing that I really enjoyed was yesterday we visited a mass Dawa program where there were hundreds of people in this village. And I mean, mashallah, the people of Malawi, I must say that if you guys have not visited Malawi, you are missing out on something. The warmth of the people in the warm heart of Africa could not be more apt. Mashallah, the people over here are so warm. You visit well-to-do people or you visit the poorest of people. They have a smile on their face, and mashallah, warmth. We go in the villages, they welcome you with songs, and I cannot explain how beautiful that is, that feeling, that kind of welcome. So so I went to this mass Dawa campaign, and the Dai, mashallah, has been at it for more than 20 years and is from Malawi, and just phenomenal, the work that he was doing. I can't explain it, I can't put into words, but it was beautiful. And then the Aira team had been there for a couple of days, and then there was this mass Dawa campaign over there as well. And then at that Dawa event, a lot of people accepted Islam, because they could see, because over this little amount of time, the simplicity yet the clarity of Islam was highlighted, because these are simple people. You don't have to give them a lot of heavy details. They understand the truth when they see it. If it's simple and it's clear. So Alhamdulillah, I saw that. I saw that a lot of people accepted Islam. Alhamdulillah, may Allah Ta'ala reward them. May Allah Ta'ala give them istiqamah. May Allah Ta'ala make it easy for them. But that was something that I've never experienced before. And I know the rest of the guys with us as well were totally blown away by this. Alhamdulillah.
So it must have been a very priceless memory for you, inshallah. That'll probably live with you for the rest of your life. And going through your different social media platforms and your resumes, your CVs, mashallah, it seems that you've been involved with so many different organizations, a plethora of different organizations, mashallah. Some as volunteers, some as trustees, alhamdulillah. Now, out of all of those, during your past few days here or through whatever you've heard and experienced regarding IRA, what do you feel has attracted you most regarding IRA? Of course, all the organizations are amazing in their own regard. Everyone's got their positives, there's no doubt about it. So without throwing shade on any of the other organizations, what do you feel has attracted you most to IRA?
I think that what I really, I think I said this a little earlier as well, is how you guys work with different organizations to achieve a common goal, to achieve a common objective. Different organizations that most of the time would seem to be very different from each other, but coming together for the common goal of Dawa, to bring people towards Islam and the basics of Islam, trying to get them to leave the life of heedlessness and to come towards a purposeful life, working towards the best of this world and the best of the hereafter. That working with different organizations together is not easy, and hats off to you guys for doing it. And from what I saw, it's been relatively smooth. I'm sure that there are challenges in there, but you guys do it with a smile, alhamdulillah. So that is beautiful. I cannot explain, because this unity of Muslims working together for common goals is so sorely needed, especially in today's society when we see the horrors that are happening around the world to Muslims, and yet few are able to stand up to help them. So this work that you guys are doing, I know is difficult, but I really do appreciate how you make it seem easy. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Jazakallah khair for all your continuous support. And for, let's say, if anybody wants to start a Dawa organization out there or wants to join any kind of existing Dawa organization, or for IRA ourselves, would you have any advice from your years of experience of theoretical and practical Da'wah? What advice would you give to somebody that wants to involve themselves in the Da'wah work or is in the Da'wah space also?
I think that there are a couple of things that I'm going to say off the top of my head, because this is not rehearsed. So one is, I would say that first of all, be clear about your intentions. Your intentions have to be pure. Your intentions have to be to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to do it in the way that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam have told us to do things, to stay away from methods that are anti what they've told us or against what they've told us. So to stay away from those kind of methods. So I think that the first step is to have a clear intention. Then the next step is to work with good people, because Jama is very important. To work with people, to take advice from people, to coordinate with people. Really, that is the essence of success if you want to do anything worthwhile. And also to systemize things. If you have to make it into an organization, otherwise it'll just be a one-man show. It has to be about building organizations, building institutions. That is something that we really sorely lack in the Muslim world. That it has to be going beyond individual personalities and working towards commonalities.
Right. That makes a lot of sense. Jazakallah khair. Very wise words.
Jazakallah.
May Allah continue to make us flag bearers and global ambassadors of Islam and make us a means of benefit and guidance for as many people as possible.
Ameen, summa ameen.
Now, moving on to the final part of our podcast and this episode. The podcast, by the way, the name of which is Dawah, Legacies, which can be found on our YouTube channel, IRA Africa. The question is that 10, 20, 50 years down the line, how would you like, or which one quality would you like people to associate Saeed Motiwala with?
I don't know. Maybe just a guy who works well with people to help people. I don't know. I don't know. I think that's all we can do. I think that we can try and help people, but the help that we need now, I think, is in building institutions. I think that it's been too long. We have all tried to do small things individually. I think that it's time that we started building institutions. And therefore, that means that you go beyond just the initial leadership and you have succession plans, you have some kind of a plan on how to grow, have a strategy. I think that these are all things that are extremely important now if we want to be effective in whatever we do, whether it is in Dawa work, whether it is in business. I think that now it's time to get things systematic, to get things organized, and also to do it selflessly. I think that's important as well. That ego and these things should not come into the picture.
Subhanallah, priceless words over there, gems of advice, tying into our introduction. Those are gems of advice. MashaAllah. May Allah bless you infinitely in your health, your wealth, your ilm, your time, and your family. Jazakallah khair. We really appreciate your presence here in Malawi.
Thank you.
Assalamu
My
alaikum.
pleasure. Thank you for everything.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Jazakallah.
This has been your host Abdullah Panjwani. Jazakallah khair to one and all for tuning in to this really enlightening, heartwarming and inspiring episode with one of our special guests from Pakistan who came to witness IRA's operations by himself, as well as with a few other friends whose episodes will be released shortly as well. May Allah bless all of you infinitely in your health, your wealth, your ilm, your time and your family as well. And on that note, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
But unfortunately, it went on for the 4th time, and I was like, "Bus, that's it." Then I took my, the boys. We went outside, had some small burger,